Hi, I'm Baroness Grey-Thompson, or Tanny Grey-Thompson, and this is the latest instalment of my video diary. Since I last did an entry, it's been really busy in the House of Lords, been involved in lots of different bits of legislation, and it's been a really exciting time. But today it's kind of a day in the life of, so it's Wednesday, and it's been an incredibly difficult and busy day already. This morning I was speaking in Westminster Abbey, and we're having a celebration for the 40th anniversary of the implementation of the Chronically Sick and Disabled Persons Act. And for me, that's a really important piece of legislation for me personally, because it had a massive impact on my life. I was born in 1969, the legislation came in 1970. And the difference it made to my life was radical, really, because up to that point, as a child growing up who was disabled, I couldn't go to the cinema with friends because I was a fire risk. I was meant to be in segregated education. Back then, disabled people, if you were allowed to drive, you had to drive a blue plastic car around. You couldn't just buy a car and choose how you wanted to drive. It was one of these little three-wheelers that only carried one person in, so you couldn't go anywhere with your friends unless you had lots of disabled people all sort of traipsed off together. So this legislation was the start of lots of other disability legislation. And for me, had an impact on me in terms of it got me into mainstream education, and it changed my life. And really this morning was about saying thank you to Alf Morris, who as an MP introduced the legislation as a private member's bill, was told by everybody that there was no point because it would never get through. And it's a real lesson in how you gather support and you change people's attitudes, because it got through and it got passed. And today was about saying thank you to, he's now Lord Morris of Manchester, to him and to the other people who've been involved, who've made a real difference to disabled people's lives. But it's also about keeping going, because there's still so much that we have to do to make a difference for disabled people. This afternoon I'm speaking in the pensions bill, and we're at report stage, and I'm going to be speaking about women's pension rights and making sure that we have fair representation for women. A lot of women who gave up work to bring up a family have struggled to make pension contributions, and we need to make sure that women aren't disproportionately affected by the changes in law. So it's going to be a really interesting debate today. Haven't quite finished writing my speech, but I know lots and lots of things I want to say, but I need to kind of get those in order, because I'm only going to have a couple of minutes to make a real impact, and to get the coalition to think about what we're saying. It needs to be, really, really finely tuned. So it's an exciting day, and lots of things happening. If I look forward, today it's 69 Wednesdays to the start of the Olympics in London in 2012. And that's a really exciting time. There's lots going on. The stadium has now been finished. The velodrome for the cycling was finished a few weeks ago. And we're getting into those real final stages of making the games happen. Athletes are training really hard, lots going on. But we still need to kind of be very conscious. It's not now just about what happens at games time, but it's about what we do afterwards. So a lot of my time at the moment is spent thinking about the real legacy of the games. And for me, it's not about the football stadium or who's going to be using the facilities afterwards. It's about how we inspire another generation of young people to think about how they use sport to fulfil their wishes and their goals. So it's an exciting time, lots on and lots more to do.